Hi everyone, it's Louise from Louloupurple. I hope you're all keeping safe and well, and for today's project I'm going to be doing page 2 and 3 of my Gorjuss art journal. I've gone ahead and cut my stamping card down to size, and I'm going to use my matte medium, and I'm going to stick the stamping card to some sheets of music. These sheets of music I picked up from a charity shop. You can normally get little booklets of different music quite cheaply. I then leave these to dry. I then use my Distress glaze over my printed words, which I printed out on a computer. This is so the ink doesn't smudge later on. Going back to my sheets of music, I've cut them down to the size of the stamping card, and here I'm just using the Pebeo Studio Acrylics. This is number 30, and I'm just applying that onto the sheets of music. So here I'm just using a stencil and a wet wipe to take out some of the colour. I don't actually like it, so I go back over the top with some more paint, and I'm using a rubbery type of spatula just for something different really. I didn't want brush strokes on my page, so I've seen someone else using some kitchen equipment, so I thought I'd give it a try, and it spreads it out. It works like a paintbrush, but you don't get all the paintbrush lines, so it's quite a good effective way to spread your paint about. I didn't want the whole sheet completely blue, I wanted some white space as well. I'm now using some white paint, which is number 11, and I'm just going to apply this in the general area where I want my Gorjuss girl to be, so that I can do some shading, knock the turquoise colour back a bit just to make it a bit more interesting. I'm going to be using the border stamp from the Pink Ink Stamps here, the Elephantastic one. This is the little flower border. I'm using my Tim Holtz stamp platform, and I'm just lining up the stamp where I want it, and then I will close the lid, pick it up, ink it up with my archival, jet black archival, and then stamp the image. I then decide that the turquoise is still a bit too bright, so again I'm using my white paint with my mini brayer just to knock back some of the turquoise in the background. I'm going to use the Creative Expressions stencil called Endless Bubbles, and I'm using this just to draw some bubbles randomly over my page. This heart stamp is from one of the Paper Artsy stamp sets. I will leave a link in the description box below for where you can get all the products. So I'm just stamping that, and then I will go back into drawing my bubbles. I'm using my white acrylic paint to paint in all my bubbles. So I'm going to do one layer and let it dry, and then I will do a second layer over the top. So I'll show you a bit of the process and then I'll skip to the end. This is now my second layer of white paint. Again, I'll go over all the bubbles and then leave them to dry. So I'm now going to show you how I created my bubble shading effect using my Derwent Coloursoft pencils. So first of all, I'm using a shade of grey, and then I use my blending tool with my Cestit blending fluid to move the colour around to add the shadow under the bubble. I then use my turquoise Derwent Coloursoft pencil, and I'm going around the outside edge of the circle. I then use my paper stump with the blending fluid, and I'm pulling the turquoise colour from the edge into the bubble. So I need a bit more turquoise, so I'm just lightly going over with my pencil, and I'm going to move that colour again with the blending stump around, leaving a small space of white so that it looks more three-dimensional. I'm just adding a bit more grey to the shadowing underneath the circle and using my blending fluid and paper stump to blend that in. So I'll just show you that whole process again on a smaller bubble. So I'm using the grey for the shading first, and then use the turquoise for the inside of the bubble. So this is actually the first time I've ever attempted doing bubbles like this, and I'm quite pleased with how they turned out. I'm going to use my matte medium to stick my Gorjuss girl images onto my page. This will also act as a matte cover over the gloss printout of my Gorjuss girls. I will leave a link in the description again for where I downloaded the images of my Gorjuss girls. And because I printed them on glossy photo paper, the matte medium, once it has dried, will then turn the gloss into a matte finish, which personally I prefer. I'm using the matte medium again to stick my quote down. Now, if you remember, I used my distress glaze over the top of my quote so that when I apply the matte medium, the quote won't all smudge and smear. Once the matte medium has all dried, I then use my Pitt pen to add some shading to my Gorjuss girl. Now, the only reason this is moving in this way is because I've used the matte medium over the image and around the background. So if you try to do this when you haven't got matte medium down, it won't work as well because the ink won't smudge. I'm going to use my Unipin Fine Line Pigment ink. This is water and fade proof. This is 0.8. I'm going to use it to go around the outside edge of my quote and then add some squiggles along the border. I then use my date stamp to date it. This one I did back in May, and then I'm going to use my Cosmic Shimmer acrylic glue to stick my pages into my book. And that is this project all finished. If you would like to buy any of the products I've used in this video, they will be listed on my website blog post. I will leave a link in the description box below this video. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. If you have, please give me a thumbs up or leave me a comment, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Click on the bell icon so you never miss a new video. Links to my website, Facebook and more will be in the description box below, or click on the end screen at the end of this video. Thanks again for watching, and I hope you got inspired. Bye for now.